Welcome to 1 to 7 Games. My name is Ryan Shelton and I create card, dice, and board games. My goal is for you to watch this video and then play the game. While I would take donations through Venmo, you're more than welcome to play for free. I do not own the rights to any images. I hope you will email me with any feedback and any questions. Infinite Saber Duels is a very fun way to play war. I have made several decks with all kinds of sabers. So I've got samurai, pirates, even maybe some fancy lightsabers. So all kinds of decks. You can make a card with your main fighter that has a special ability. So like this one says both players lose 1 point for the round. You can make lots of special abilities. I did make a really fun deck of cards, but it's really easy to use playing cards to play this game as well. So I kind of want to show you that setup. So basically, you're going to take your deck of 54 cards and you're going to make a red deck and a black deck. It's just a way to split it. That way there's 2 of every kind in the deck. Then each deck could get a joker. So that's this defend card where you basically play that and your opponent only gets half a point. It's like if you don't have very good cards left, you can use that. So you'd put those in those 2 decks like that. The really big key though is you've got, so like for my special deck, I just have 1 to 10, but you got to look at what the jack, kings, and queens do. So that would be the only part that would require a little bit of kind of management. So I want to kind of look at that really quickly. I'm going to put the defend cards over there. So I'm thinking to myself, I've got, so a king could be this, you use your fighter's ability. So it's a 0. If the card has nothing on it, it's a 0. So that would be the both kings. A queen would be this blitz. So basically you play the queen if you're not sure what your opponent is going to play, and then you get to play another card from your hand. So you can choose whether to win that battle or not. And then the jacks have a value of 5, but you also get to draw 2 cards. So that's how you really want to set up the game. You got to know what the jack, queen, and kings are. So again, freezes makes you have the kings. Use the fighter's ability if you want to use that. Queen is you get to play another card from your hand. That way you get to see what your opponent has played first. The jack is another 5, but then you also get to draw 2 cards. And then you're just making a deck of all the red cards, diamonds, and then your opponent basically would have the deck of the black cards. The same idea. You can throw then you throw a joker in there, and that's the defend card. I'm not going to play with the defend cards. This can be a 1 to 7 player game. I don't know that 6 or 7 work very well. If you play 1 player, you basically would just be turning cards over. You wouldn't have any choice in how to play the game. So it actually is kind of fun to play that way. But we're really thinking about war is the mechanic, but with choice. So again, I have a red deck and a black deck. It is fun to make decks because you could put some flavor text in it. So like I made, again, I don't own the artwork, so I don't want to show too much, but I named the cards and how they kind of work. So to start the game, each player is going to draw 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you play with a defend card, you can add that in your deck. And you can play it once. I'm going to do it without it just to make it a little simpler. But basically, again, your opponent, if you played this and they played whatever card they played, they would only get a half point. So that's why you use the defender. So you've got your 7 cards. So that's the real key. And you can look at these cards. You keep them in your hand and you look. Same thing with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So you got, oh, did I do too many? No, I got 7 cards. So you've got those in each of their hands. The key to know with the deck is when you draw cards, so once you've played a card, it's discarded. When your hand, so you play cards, you play cards, you play cards. When your hand gets down to 2 cards, then you can draw 3 more cards until you have 5. But only when your hand gets down to 2. It's just kind of a good way to start the game. You can do a game where you score points, or you can give your each player a health. I played the game both ways. I sometimes like to do points because it seems less violent, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of start the game with 10 health for each player. This is their draw deck. So what I am going to do, since it's really just me, I've got each player's hand off to the side. So I'm going to kind of show you how to play. So again, because the hands are hidden from each other. So each time you do a battle, it's very simple. You take your card, whatever card you choose to play, and you place it face down at the same time so that each player doesn't see it. So they've each played. Okay, so the samurai played a 5, and Blackbeard played a queen. Now remember, queen is the one that's called blitz. That means you get to pick what card you want to play out of your hand. So in other words, I don't want to play an 8 or a 9 because it's really just war. Whatever card is highest. So I'm just going to play my 6. So my 6 is higher than 5. Think straight war, just like normal. So that would take away 1 of their health. If I can find the 9. I work with these dice all the time. I should know better. And then you just discard those cards off to the side. So you're playing each of those cards that way. The key to keep in mind is the only weird rule is if you tie, both those cards are discarded, nothing happens. So again, they blindly put their card in play. Then they turn them over. 3 is higher than 2. So the samurai won. So that's going to take away 1 of the health of that player. And you just discard the card and you just keep playing. So we're going to turn the cards in. This play, so you do an order. There is an order here. You play the focus card first, which is the jack, which means that player draws 2 cards. Okay. And then you play the player card, which is the king, which allows you to play the ability. And then you play this blitz card. So basically the queen plays last. So this, I remember the jack is a value of 5. So I am basically, I got a lot of cards in here that I don't want to waste. So I have decided to put the 5 in here because I get to play any card I want. So 5, they tie. That means no one gets anything and the cards are discarded. So again, this player has 3 cards left. This player has 5 cards left, so no one's drawing yet. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. They're going to pick what card they want to play, put them in play, and then you reveal them at the same time. 4 is more than 1. One of the special rules to keep in mind, though, is that an ace beats a 10. So if that was a 10, that's that sort of a war rule that I like to use a lot of times. 4 is bigger than 1, so this samurai wins. So that's 1 more health. Okay, so now this player is down to 2 cards, so they're going to draw 3 cards. So now they have 5 in their hand. And you've got these 2 big whoppers in there. Again, that opponent doesn't see it. You would draw and keep the cards separate to yourself. So again, you play it in play, reveal. They're both 9s, so you just discard, nothing happens. You keep playing. So then it becomes really easy, like war. 10. So again, you turn it over. 10 is more than 5. If you agree with each other, you can just play up at the same time. That beats that card, so this player loses another health. Right? And you're just playing until you run out of health or until you score the most points. This player now has 2 cards, so they're going to draw 3. And so you just keep putting out cards until somebody health go to 0 or you win 10 points. It's very easy. The one thing I didn't do is like both of their points. So again, lose 1 point for the round. So you might lose so if you play the king 3, the king has no value. So it's 0. So they win this round. So they would lose a health for that. But the king says use the player's ability. They both lose 1 point. So there might be something you would use if you're ahead, right? You're just whittling down health. You might use it to win the game. So that's how you play all those cards. Hopefully you enjoy the game. That is 1 to 7 Infinite Duels. I love these playing cards. It's a lot of fun to make them, so I highly suggest that, even though playing with cards works really well. Send me some feedback. I'd love to see if anybody would try a big 6, 7 player game. I have tried this with 4 players and a lot of fun. You have too many ties, so I want to look at a rule for maybe how to do ties better. Maybe somebody else loses a health point if they're not part of the tie. So hopefully you enjoy. Shoot me any questions.